time, I call to order the regular meeting of the Maricopa County Community College District Governing Board for August 27th, 2019. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Julissa Munoz, a Mesa Community College student.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can tell we're at the beginning of the fall semester because we have no substitutions tonight. All the presidents are here. I would like to welcome to the dais Alejandra Maya, our new student governing board. I also want to explain for the board as well as the audience how voting will go. I will call first for an advisory vote, and that is when Alejandra will vote, and then I will call for the board vote for the elected board members. Yeah. She gets to influence the rest of the voting. We're now at Student Life Reports, Mesa Community College.
President Thor, members of the board, Chancellor Harper-Marinick, members of CEC, and guests. My name is Chris Bliss. I am the Director of Student Services at Mesa Community College, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to three of our student leaders from the Associated Students of Mesa Community College.
Hello, my name is Naima Shafal. I'm Vice President of Communications of the Associated Students of Mesa Community College Student Government. We're here to basically represent and tell you guys a little bit about ourselves. We're working to build a stronger Mesa Community College, bringing communities to community college. Gotcha. All right, so again, a little bit about myself. I'm a second-year student here at Mesa Community College studying construction management. My hope is to transfer to ASU to finish out my bachelor's program. I am an Air Force veteran. I served 3.5 years. I was the former student, the Vice President of Student Veterans of America. And again, my role and my duty is to ensure a clear community pathway through all students, faculty, and staff at Mesa Community College. My email is listed below, and so is my phone number. Thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Good afternoon. So, my name is Benedetta. I am Italian, but my easy name is Benny. And this is my first year here in Mesa Community College, and I'm actually double majoring in business, and I'm getting an associate in art, and I plan on transferring to ASU in 2021 to double major in business, concentration in politics, and international relations. And I love to volunteer. I am part of the engagement team at Mesa Community College. I'm also part of the Honor Society, Phi Theta Kappa, and I'm the new membership coordinator. And I'm a martial artist, and I'm gonna put it out there to make me more human. And so I am the secretary of our Reach and Involvement, and so my role is a cabinet role, and we basically organize all the events on campus, and we involve students in the life on campus, which is almost as much as important as the academic development of every student. And we are here, and we are part of Senate, and we always talk to them one-to-one to give them a voice, because, of course, if there were no students, none of this would be possible, so we want to give them a voice. And we want to create stronger connections between student, faculty, student staff, because we know that that's a difficult thing to do, especially for a new student, as I am. I just graduated. Those are my office hours in the ASMCC office, and that's my email for any communication with me. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Julissa Munoz. I am MCC's rep for the new Maricopa Student Senate. So a little bit about myself. I actually begun studying at CGCC, and then I am now enrolled at MCC. I'm a full-time student and a full-time worker at a construction company. I am working towards my degree in nursing, and I hope to transfer to the University of Arizona and their med program. I was a former Air Force Junior ROTC officer, and I was also enrolled in student council throughout my entire high school career. A little bit about myself and what I want to accomplish in this role. Kind of like we all said, and I think we emphasize it so much because it is so important, we want to give students a voice, and we want to make sure that they know that they are heard and that we are putting action to it. I want to be involved as much as I can on campus so they see me around. So it's not just like, here's a face and here's a title, but no, that I'm also a student just like them. I also work just like them. So there is also my email and my phone number. Don't hesitate to contact me. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Then we're back. And I just wanted to give a brief introduction of the exec board. All of them are not here, but our president is Leah Thompson. President of Red Mountain is Rosella Lagaska. Executive Vice President Elizabeth Ward. Executive Vice President of Communications, myself, Naima Shafal, and Vice President of Physical Affairs, JD Scott. And again, we're working to build just a few things, a stronger MCC with open communication, building the community, or bringing the community to community college, and relaying resources, academic support, and off campus to our student body. All right.
Thank you. So I'm here to represent the cabinet. And we have our chief of staff is Kim Morrow, and we were actually all appointed today. They still need to vote on us, but still. I'm part of the outreach and involvement team, so Benny, Dylan, and Keisha, and we're actually still looking for those other positions, but we're super excited for this new year. We're ready to go, and we want to basically raise awareness about everything that is happening on campus, because it can be overwhelming. Especially Mesa Community College is a big campus. We have a lot of resources. We have so many activities that students just get lost. And we want to be that point of reference, that place where people can go and say, hey, what do you guys have going on next week? I want to be involved on campus. And we want to organize, as I already said, many events, give a voice to students. That's one of our main goals for this year. And as for my role for outreach and involvement is especially being connected with clubs, because of course a student maybe feels more comfortable to go to the club they're affiliated with, and so we want to create that connection between the student government, the clubs, and all the students of our college. And as I already said, creating connections. We're all humans. We can all connect to each other, and that's the first thing in college, according to me and our board. Thank you.
Okay, so this program is still starting up, so we haven't exactly, progressed as much. But just kind of my goals as Student Senate and kind of what I want it to be about is I want to build a strong and united community at MCC. I don't want it to just be a go to school, go home. I want it to be a community for the students, something that they can rely on if they need help with food, if they need help, with counseling, so they know that we offer all these services and they can come to us. I want to be openly available to students and their concerns. I am a very outgoing person. Come talk to me about anything and everything, and I want to make sure that they know that. I also never want to ignore their voices, allow and ensure that they are being heard, and always follow through. It's very easy to say, yeah, I heard you, yeah, but I want to make sure that there's that follow through with it. Kind of like my little telephone image, that's kind of what I want to be in between the MCC students and the board, voicing their concerns and being that one voice to keep everything in an organized manner. So thank you, and if you guys have any questions.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions from the board?
Thank you.
Nice job. Have a great fall semester. Presenting for the Faculty Executive Council, Keith Hefner.
Good evening. Hi, President Thor, members of the board, Dr. Harper Marinick, members of the CEC and guests. My name is Keith Hefner, and I'm music technology faculty at MCC and the FEC president. Tonight I've decided to share some positive anecdotes regarding my personal interactions of late with some administrators and directors specifically relevant to communication and engagement. While there are many things that still need to be worked on from the faculty perspective, I'd like to focus on a few things that have given me some hope that eventually things will improve in the areas of identifying and addressing employee administration interests and the collective pursuit of institutional excellence for the students we serve. So I've had a pretty interesting summer, and I've met some really great people, some for the second time. In the area of workforce development, what I'm describing to you is kind of an interesting journey I've had getting back in the saddle, so to speak, and being engaged with different committees and talking to different people about initiatives. Workforce development has been just kind of fun to follow what's been going on right now. I'm going to mention some names tonight. I don't know, they'll mind or not, but I think they deserve some recognition as far as I'm concerned. I've had some really good dialogue with Daniel Barajas and also with Darcy Renfro lately and their teams. In July, I attended for a couple of days, I went to the ACTEZ, the Association for Career Technical Education of Arizona. Met Kathy Hoffman, that was kind of cool. Grabbed a selfie with her and with Daniel. Mr. Starr, Dr. Fisher, Daniel Barajas, and some of his department folks were there. We had an opportunity to talk about some things about K-12 pipelines with CTE, what they're doing, what they want to do, and why we need to be at these kinds of events. Daniel was just terrific, filling me in on things. He whispered, "That's so-and-so, that's going on." And, Daniel has a very soft spot. Is Daniel here tonight? Good, probably good thing I'm talking about. Great guy, and I really appreciate being engaged in this particular area. I'll do, for all these areas, I'm trying to do the best I can to be not just a faculty voice, but also to get other faculty to know what's going on. So we'll be inviting them to FEC to talk about their work. We're also planning, this is like for Dana and Mr. Sarr, I know he appreciates this. We are planning an informal CTE, like a half-day retreat, to see if we can get some CTE folks out to get them more informed. Hey, why don't you come to this thing where maybe we can serve some snacks or whatever and get them informed. I would like to do that and meet the CTE folks across the district that are working and may not often want to come out to big meetings. I had some really good conversations around artificial intelligence. I could use some. So I've been very high this summer on trying to do things about a survey, maybe finding out what's going on across the district, so I can get a sense of where we're at, where some people are going. And every time you mention it, people, yeah, that's a good idea. But I've been mentioning it to workforce, and they want to help. I've been mentioning it to a couple of faculty members. We talked to Dr. Gonzalez recently about it. And it seems like there are some things going on, but nothing's coordinated. So we have a lot of industry partners, and the gist of all this is that working with MCLI, Dr. Stephen Crawford, who I've really just met for the first time, and with Dr. Rob Morales, I've worked with him before. We want to survey the district about where we're at and where we want to go with AI, get an idea of what that's all about, and then start connecting with industry partners to offer some, I guess, not mind opportunities for our students and our demographic of students. I think it would be really interesting. And not just like AI coding, but maybe some of the jobs that are associated with these companies that maybe could be entry-level positions. I think it's time. That one was for you. The PLA, the Prior Learning Assessment Initiative, there's a proposal now to implement district-wide application of PLA, and they've been working, the people that have been working on that, we're working hand in hand with Transformation and Guided Pathways folks. A lot of work and a lot of years have been spent on this initiative, And I'd like to just thank the Curriculum and Transfer Department, specifically Rose Rojas, Bettina Celis, and others that have helped to make PLA a reality as a district-wide initiative. It's a big deal, and I think it'll go a long way for our marketing and helping students get interested in getting into the system, enrolling. I'd like to thank Dr. Felicia Ganther, who reached out to me and Patrice Nango in May to ask for faculty engagement on 4 financial aid transformation committees. We had, even in the summer, we had some response, and I was really grateful that she did that. Dr. Fisher invited me to attend the Transformation Strategic Planning weekly meetings. Sometimes I don't know what the heck they're talking about, but I'm glad I was invited to the party. That's a really high-functioning team, and I am really impressed with the work that they're doing to drive action items within the transformation process. We have just recently just met Georgetta Kelly, who is the new CHRO, Chief HR Officer. Meeting regularly with her now. She just came on board. We have had some good interaction. Martha Anderson has been great. We worked collaboratively on messaging recently to send out to faculty about the 2%, whatever it is. It's not a raise, but the stipend. We have regular meetings. We have standing meetings set up with them. And we also with Dr. Fisher. Mr. Hibbs, his door is open, and he has offered to me many times that he's available to talk anytime, and he has also called me on occasion, which is great. Dr. Marcone, we have some standing monthly meetings set up now, and we have just set up some fall meetings with the Chancellor. So this is good. This is a good thing. So hopefully it'll continue. The joke is really, watch out what I ask for, because now people are calling me to be on several committees, and that's okay. It's good. Some other additional committees that I just got asked to serve on are the Data Governance Committee, and also a couple of hiring interview committees. So I'd just like to offer that up as some positive information tonight. And hopefully we can keep going with that. So you guys can call me. You definitely have my number, and some of you have, and I appreciate that. So I would like to keep the communication open. It will help us move forward. Excuse me. I would also like to offer you something you may or may not want to take advantage of, and this is for the board. In the past, we have had the actually, it was a pleasure to interact with the board in a special session to give you our perspective on things that maybe now might be a good time to talk about from the faculty perspective, as far as academic freedom, governance things, peer review. What do these things mean? If you're willing and you want to do that, you can set something up for us. We'll schedule a time that we can have that conversation, because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about all of those things, even amongst faculty, even amongst employees. So it might be, I'm just offering that. If that happens, that'd be great. Honestly, I'm not sure you'll do that, but I'm offering it. I think it would be important to do. So thank you for letting me speak tonight, and welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. Hefner. We're now at the Chancellor's report. Dr. Harper-Marinick.
Thank you, Dr. Thor, members of the board. I would like to welcome everyone back as we start a new year full of enthusiasm for all the possibilities and how we serve our students. I have 3 presentations tonight, and I will start by asking the president of South Mountain Community College, Dr. Sherry Olson, to make the introductions.
Thank you, Chancellor. President Thor, members of the board, Chancellor Harper-Marinick, peers, and guests in the audience. It's a very proud moment to introduce you to our athletic director, Mr. Todd Easton, and our head men's basketball golf coach. In his first year as our head coach, he's bringing home a national championship, and our returning freshman, And this freshman is back to complete his degree at South Mountain, but he was the winner of the Phil Mickelson Award, which is the Freshman of the Year at the NJCAA Division II National Tournament. So they're going to go through all the accomplishments of this team that had an outstanding season. So I'll turn it over to our athletic director, Mr. Todd Easton.
All right. Good evening, President Thor, members of the board, Chancellor Harper-Marinick, members of the CEC, and guests. Thank you for the opportunity to introduce these gentlemen with me today. Again, like President Olson said, Coach Pitts is our men's golf coach, and Jonathan Walters is the only returning member of our national championship golf team. Again, my name is Todd Easton. I have the opportunity to be the athletic director at South Mountain Community College. So there's just a picture right there of the team after they won the national championship. And this is kind of a map of what they did last year, and they were kind of all over the place, and you can see there's 4,500 miles traveled throughout the year for the entire 2018-19 season. You can see they went 3 or 4 different tournaments in the fall, and they played another 7 or 8 during the spring. I promise you, at some point they did go to class. They received a 3.3 GPA. So outstanding achievement. Again, one of the top GPAs in the country. This is coming off a year. The 2017-18, they had the top GPA in the entire country, so they've maintained a high bar for the academic side of the golf program. So again, they won the 2019 NJCAA Division II Men's Golf National Championship. This is actually their 7th national title in 16 years. Phenomenal achievement. Again, a team pick before it all started at the very beginning of the season with 10 student athletes and our illustrious Coach Pitts there on the right. Just a little bit of information on some of the student athletes. Most of these student athletes have transferred on to 4-year institutions, which is the ultimate goal of our student athletes at South Mountain Community College. Kendall Hodges transferred to Cal State Dominguez Hills, an NCAA Division II institution. Eric Duarte transferred to the University of Arizona to pursue his academic degree, not playing golf. Amrit Hare was ranked the number 11. You'll see most of these guys were in the top 10 players in the entire country, all on one single team. Number 11 in the country in golf. He graduated from South Mountain. He's now attending Cal Riverside, an NCAA Division I institution. Jacob Smith was ranked the number 6 NJCAA Division II golfer in the country. He received NJCAA All-American status. He also graduated and is now attending Cal Baptist University. And actually his coach is another former South Mountain Community College golf coach. Jonathan Walters, to my right here, was the National Freshman of the Year. He was ranked number 1 in the NJCAA for Division II golf. He made the All-Region team, Ping All-American team, NJCAA All-American, and like I said, the Phil Mickelson Award winner for the Freshman of the Year. And he's our sole returner, so there's high expectations on him to now be the top sophomore in the country. Leon D'Souza was ranked the number 2 golfer in the entire country. He made the All-Region team. He was also named the ACCAC Player of the Year, First Team All-American, First Team NJCAA All-American, the National Player of the Year. He actually won back-to-back National Player of the Year awards. First time it's been done in 26 years. He graduated from South Mountain in the summer of 2019, and he transferred, and he's now on the campus of University of Southern California. Brandon Meyer was ranked the number 3 Division II golfer in the country. He won 3 of the 6 ACCAC tournaments during last spring. He was first team All-American, NJCAA All-American, second team Ping All-American, and he also graduated and transferred to the University of Nebraska. Jeffrey Miller was the number 7 rated Division II golfer in the entire country. He was also on the All-Region team, second team NJCAA All-American, honorable mention Ping All-American, and he transferred to Arizona State University, not playing golf anymore, but pursuing his academic degree. And again, this is a remarkable achievement for any Maricopa student athlete. Leon D'Souza became the first Maricopa student athlete, male or female, to win the National Athlete of the Year. So, and again, that was as a result of winning back-to-back national championships, and also part of the criteria is community service components as well as his academic achievement. And again, it's first time in about 40 years of the award, any male or female student athlete has won this award from Maricopa. And Coach Pitts, in his first year, laid high expectations. So he won the national championship and achieved a #1 national ranking from wire to wire. From the beginning of the season, when we showed up on campus in August, when he received the job in August, inherited the #1 team in the country and kept that status the entire year. He was nominated for the Dave Williams Award as the National Coach of the Year, and he received that award as the National Coach of the Year. He was also named the ACCAC and the Region Coach of the Year. Just kind of a summary of the entire year, it was the 7th national championship for our men's golf program, going back to the first one in 2004. It was the first time in 26 years that a student athlete in any sport had repeated as back-to-back individual national championship, and that's including all the individual sports in the NJCA. And again, they went wire to wire in 2018-19 as the #1 ranked team in the country, and that was coming off being the #1 team academically in the country as well. So phenomenal accomplishment for that group. And again, a picture, we did a little celebration on campus at the end when these folks returned from the national tournament. And again, I just wanted to congratulate them one more time and present them in front of you folks here tonight.
Congratulations, that's very, very impressive. Are there any comments or questions from board members?
Thank you.
Set the bar for successful programs.
Chancellor?
Thank you, Dr. Thor, members of the board. The second presentation will be made by Patty O'Brien, who is with the Maricopa Corporate College. As you know, for the last 3-4 years, we've been transitioning the MCORE model to one that provides revenue for our district. So Patty will speak about some of the accomplishments for this last year, but as a caveat to the board members, she's only going to cover some of the slides that you have in your printout. But we wanted to make sure that you have the full report in case you have questions, and then we can follow up later with you. So thank you, Ms. O'Brien.
Thank you. Thank you, President Thor, members of the board, Chancellor Harper-Marinick, and members of the CEC and guests. It's a privilege to be here today, and it's super exciting to report about MCORE. We have some of our team here too, who have worked really hard this year. I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an update on our fiscal 18-19 report, and we'll move into some slides as much as we have time to give you some examples of the products and what we're doing to serve the business community. Our first slide here is just really the report on our revenue. We had a business plan that we put into place, our 5-year strategic business plan put into place at the end of 2016. And you can see here our revenue is going up according to plan for our business plan. We're pretty excited about that. It's a heavy lift. You'll see there in fiscal 17-18, we were able to achieve our goal of 1.8 million in revenue, contracts signed. And then in 18-19, we were able to achieve it again with revenue and contracts signed at 2.2 million. So we're pretty excited about that. We have a hardworking team. We're affecting a lot of businesses. We'll share some of those numbers with you on how many companies and how many learners we've been able to get in front of to serve our employees. Here's our operating expenses for 18-19 as well. You'll see fiscal years year over year. We were in a reorganization mode, I think, when we moved to Rio Salado College. Thanks for housing us. We've had a great journey since then. We've been able to streamline our operations, streamline our processes. We've gone digital in a lot of cases. We've had a lot of help in that area just to keep things super efficient. And you'll see here how our operating expenses have gone down year over year, and we went down last year again another 14%. So working on being lean and efficient, at the same time being responsive, agile, and able to work at the speed of business. So I do want to thank you for even launching this corporate college a couple years ago. I think it was very forward thinking because the way you've designed us, we are agile, we're responsive, we need to be quick, we need to be innovative, we need to work at the speed of business, and we are able to do that. So that's been fun for our team to be able to come through for the employers that we work with. Here's some of our key success indicators. You'll see some of them. We had a 21% increase in sales revenue this year, 22% in new proposals signed with businesses at 78. So 78 contracts signed. We had 33 business clients served, with 17 of those repeat clients, or new clients, I guess. We're close. We're about a 50-50. We had a 14% increase in employee enrollments in college, and so I'll cover that in one of my slides. We're really excited about that. That's one of our products to help employees get back to college or to continue their college journey. We have a 97% rating on client scorecards. That's our satisfaction rating with businesses after we've delivered our training or our services to them. We have I put here 8 new college business partnerships. We're doing a lot of work with the different colleges, and it's fun to see that where we're able to work with a business, an employer will have a need, we're partnering with the colleges to serve that need, and it may be something that's multifaceted, credit and non-credit, might involve recruiting, project management, things like that. So that's been going really well and has kept us pretty busy as well. I have our strategic commitments here at the bottom of the slide, and things that we take seriously at MCOR, addressing employer gaps, thinking innovatively to accelerate workforce innovation and responsiveness, and to increase workforce training and customized solutions for business, government, and industry. We track everything that we do at MCOR. We have a business CRM, so we know what type of employer we're serving, what industry they're coming from, and you'll see a graph here that shows a little bit of that. 54% of our training and services are for commerce, utilities, manufacturing, and you'll see as it goes on down through business finance. We have about 78 subject matter experts who we vetted through at MCOR, and they deliver our trainings. Here's some of our notable clients served, a few clients. We have 5 core products at MCOR that we've developed. We developed these after our reorganization. We got together and really thought about what's the business community been asking for, and how can we make it simple for them to understand what we deliver and what we can do for them. So you'll see them here, and we'll see if time permits if I give you a few examples of what we're delivering for some companies in particular. Here you can see our sales product line, and you can see how it's really an inverse relationship on how we sell and what products we sell and how they're priced. So on the right, we have a highest sales revenue in learning industry boot camps, corporate learning concierge, which is our tuition reimbursement program that we do with employers. And on the left side, you're going to see numbers of deals and contracts. So on the reverse of that, we do a lot of smaller trainings and workshops, which might not bring in the higher number per contract, but we deliver quite a few of those. And an example of that would be Salt River Project, where we deliver a minimum of 25 trainings per year for Salt River Project. So that would fall in that category of smaller customized training. There's an example if you'd like me to move forward and give a few examples of some of these products. Okay. This is State Farm. We have what we call a corporate concierge, corporate learning concierge product, and we developed this a couple of years ago when we were realizing that everyone is fighting for the workforce, right? How can we attract the workforce? How can we hire who we need to hire? And they were talking about concierge services for employees, even picking up dry cleaning, whatever it might be, Starbucks, who knows? So we thought, why can't we have concierge in the education? So we developed a product called Corporate Concierge, which involves a partnership with Student Affairs and Student Services, and we have April and Felicia and everybody back there, Jesus. It's worked really well, where we're basically bringing community college to the employer. So we come on site and we advise, they do enrollment services, so they don't have to go to the college, or they're busy, they're working, they're full-time. Many of them have families, so we bring all those services to them. We actually also bring on-site classes. So you'll see here, in one of our slides here at State Farm, some example classes that we held there last year, English 101, English 102. And what we do is we survey the employees and we find out where are they at, where are their needs, is there enough to kick off COM 110 with the employees. And then we go on site and teach that class. And that, of course, is in partnership with the colleges. And what Maricopa Corporate College does is just facilitate it with the employer. So we're there working with their tuition assistance teams, with the supervisors, assisting student affairs, and bringing partnership together with business and the employers and the colleges. You can see here we had a 19% increase in employee enrollments at State Farm because of these services. Last year we had a 987, I think, % increase in employee enrollments. So we're projected to hit over $1 million in employee enrollments by fall 2020. Actually, I think that's fall 2019. Correction. Great. In a month or two, we're going to be hitting over $1 million in enrollments. This is a fun slide because in addition to the on-site classes that we're teaching at State Farm, and now we're doing it at Chase as well, our second partnership, with the on-site enrollment advisors and the success coaches, they're advising employees on their college pathway they already know by working with the employer, State Farm, what pathways will get them to certain careers. So we map that together. So we work with State Farm. We know how to advise them so that they can go through their college career, get the degree they need, get the certificates they need, and move through and advance in their workplace. One of the exciting things about this is that we have an 88% retention in students that are taking classes that get this advising, which is high, and so there's a very high success rate. It's fun to see the colleges. So what happens here is by making accessible to students to go to whichever college they need to go to, wherever they live, whatever the degree might be, you see how the enrollments come out to all the colleges. So when the student services are on site, they advise per need of the employee, and then the result is attendance at all 10 colleges, usually closer to the region of the company. So we're hoping to have some of these partnerships in every region for every college. Chase was our second partnership, just launched last year. And then an example of customized training is that we have been working with Amazon for 5 years now, and it's called the Amazon Career Choice Program, and we deliver credit and non-credit. Credit, again, is in partnership with our colleges on-site at Amazon for Amazon Associates. So I thought this was neat, and we'll leave it on this note, but it's just that Inside Higher Ed did an article recently, and I know a lot of people passed it around and said, it said something in there about, hey, Amazon's, not using higher ed, and they're hiring corporate third parties, and they're training their own employees. And I thought what was really neat about this is that, Bravo Maricopa, we have our own internal corporate third party, and we have been training their employees for 5 years. So they weren't talking about Maricopa in that article, so I thought that was a really fun thing to share and something to highlight. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions from any board members?
Pretty awesome, thank you.
Yeah, tremendous progress.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you to the staff. Thank you for all that you do.
Yeah.
The third presentation will be an update on what we have done to increase our enrollments. We have two presenters, Matt Freed from marketing, and then Dr. Keisha Brock from student affairs. And they will remind us of the efforts in marketing, and then Dr. Brock will present some new information about the call centers and some of the other services that we have implemented for students. Thank you.
President Thor, members of the board, Dr. Harper Marinick, members of the CEC, and guests. I'm really excited today to talk about the student enrollment journey. My name is Matt Freed, and I am the interim chief marketing officer here at the district office, and I'll be presenting with my colleague today.
Good evening, I'm his colleague, Keisha Brock. I am Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs here at the district with oversight for a number of our enrollment management strategies. And today, Matt and I want to take you on a trip through the student enrollment journey, which can be quite complicated. This first slide depicts the student life cycle, and as you can see, there are many sections in the student life cycle. And this is based on the loss momentum framework, which was developed by Completion by Design. And its focus is really identifying possible loss points or areas that students may get off track, and then developing momentum strategies to move them through to completion and employment. So in Maricopa, our enrollment life cycle is very complicated. We're a large system. We don't have one entry point. We have 20 entry points. We're open access. We're very flexible, which is great, but it also provides the opportunity for students to procrastinate or put things off or move through at a slower pace. And so it takes the entire system to move students through. It takes our faculty and staff at the 10 colleges. It takes a strong technology infrastructure and guidance and support provided by data, good, reliable data. In academic and student affairs and at the district office overall, we've organized our teams based on the student life cycle. And Matt and I today are going to talk about enrollment management as it pertains to the front end, which is connection and entry.
So just a quick update. I know this was probably shared throughout your teams, but this is the American Association of Community Colleges enrollment crisis report. Probably came out 2 to 3 weeks ago. I just wanted to show the national average of the enrollment cycle at community colleges. If you look at that top line, that's actually the national average, and that bottom line is where we are in Maricopa. So while we are in a decline, have been in a decline, it is a national trend, not a Maricopa trend, but we hope to be leveling that out with the work we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to be talking about marketing and that connection piece of the loss momentum framework. This is our budget. Last year we had about $3 million. It is small compared to our competitors, but that's okay. We're small but mighty, right? So what we did was we came up with a campaign called Make It Happen. I know I've presented about this before, so we're not going to talk too much about it. But we also do it in Spanish. But I have been asked, what is it? So we're going to talk a little bit about what it is. So it can be just about anything, right? So it's really flexible. It's what we do here. And we talk about it on Light Rail. We went out to your colleges. We took pictures, trying to really ignite that college ambition in students. So these are real students at the college campuses. So we had some goals. I'm not going to talk about the funnel and everything that we did because I've already presented on that. But we had our goals, digital goals, which is really lead generation. So we said that we would have 176 million impressions. We came really, really close. We've never done this before, right? This is our first time doing this as a system. So we got 175 million impressions. But the colleges also invested their own money. That led to another 104 million impressions, which is a total of 279 million impressions. An impression is just someone seeing our ad. Our leads or inquiries, we thought out of those 176 or 270 some, we would get around 48,000 leads. We actually came in at about 42,000 leads. Again, we added those on with the college investments, and we came to about 64,000. Those are broken down in that bottom number there. Apply Now buttons, 37,000, form fills, 10,000, and inbound calls. What's that all mean? This number is really important. $38 cost per acquisition. So we know in order for us to get a lead to come into our system, we need to spend $38. That is well below the average benchmark of about 55. Now enrollments, we did say that we would get about 4,800 enrollments. We don't have attribution through those first two boxes there, the Apply Now button and inbound calls. All that means is we can't track it all the way through to enrollment, but we know people are enrolling through those. We can track form fills. That's someone going on a landing page filling out a form. We had about 841 people enroll from filling out a form. That's about 8.4%. If you actually applied that to those first two buckets, we're over $5,000 or 5,000 enrollments. The other two should convert higher though. So even though we can't attribute that yet, we're working on that. We look at things like applications. We had about 82,000 applications come in of new to Maricopa, and then some college no degree. So we're doing the right thing. We also look at enrollment lift or enrollment flattening out. So what are the takeaways? We've met with every college leadership team here over the summer, and we talked about these results, and we're refining and moving forward with this campaign again. We're going to continue to work on that attribution model so we can make sure that we are seeing where our enrollments are coming from, just in marketing. And we don't stop advertising. Remember that. If anyone ever asks, oh, are you advertising? Yes, we don't stop. Okay? So to talk more about that enrollment, Dr. Brock.
Thanks, Matt. So once the student is actually connected with Maricopa, how do we help them through that student life cycle or through that enrollment journey? And I mentioned earlier the Maricopa enrollment journey is complicated, and it is. These are the 5 steps that students have to go through to get enrolled. And we've made tremendous improvement in this space. Our online enrollment form is much more streamlined. There's a lot of work in the system-wide to improve this. But it's complicated, not only because of our students, there are many factors leading to that, but also because the way we're set up as a 10-college system, one student can be in multiple stages of this funnel and at multiple colleges at the same time, and that's what those logos are representing. So it makes it really difficult to know where we should nudge into what. And so we're getting better at analyzing that data and identifying enrollment opportunities so that we can use our resources effectively. So the things that the Outreach Center does include several different kinds of outreach campaigns. We focus on leads, and in Maricopa, leads are inquiries or applicants who come into the system who are new to Maricopa, and we help move them through to get admitted. So we're helping take the interest generated by a lot of our marketing outreach and move them through the cycle. We also spend a lot of time working with our college partners, moving students from applicant to enroll, so they're in the various stages and we nudge them through. A lot of them move through a little bit sluggishly, so we try and prompt them through. And then we help with re-engagement campaigns. So when we run enrollment cancellation, we send out notices, texts to students, and they contact the contact center, and we get them re-enrolled. And then lastly, we do informative gathering campaigns to learn more about what might be holding our students up. We do all of this using multiple channels of communication and resources. We have a third-party partner that we work with, Blackboard. We have a small but mighty team located here at District, has about 15 people, making a lot of outbound and taking inbound calls. And we use email, chat, text, you name it, we use it, we communicate in that method. So I want to share the results of 2 campaigns with you that we're really excited about. And we are, I'm happy to say, the entire system is working really hard and really well together to move students through. And I think, I'm very happy about that, looking at what's been going on this last couple of weeks, or a few months actually. So this is the results of a Blackboard engagement campaign that we engaged in for the months of July and August. We sent Blackboard 10,642 students who entered our pipeline, identifying interest at one college for fall 2019. And they had entered our pipeline sometime between November 2018 and June when we sent them the data. And we reached out to them. We used Blackboard because they have the ability to do large-scale outreach. They have auto dialers, they have all the technology tools. And so they made 21,303 attempts over the course of the campaign. That's they messaged, left voicemails for 7,767. They spoke with 2,365, and 2,326 students enrolled. Now I'd like to tell you that we can say that one contact pushed those 2,326 students to enroll, but we know that's not true. We know it takes more than one contact. So how do we assess the effort? How do we determine if it was a good return on investment? And in order to do that, we have to look at the lift. So if you look at the 2,875 students that were not messaged and not contacted, 18.4% of those students enrolled anyway. So you can take that and then see across the life cycle that there's actually a 10 percentage point jump for those who actually spoke with a live agent. So we can say that this campaign resulted in an enrollment lift. Those who spoke with a live agent enrolled at a higher rate than those who did not speak with anyone. So that's how we measure the return on investment of these kinds of efforts. In concert with this effort, we wanted our contact center to only reach out to students that Blackboard was not reaching out to. So we took all new students coming into the pipeline and had our contact center focus on those students. And again, a very small team. At the time of this campaign, I think there were 8 agents making calls and emails, no auto dial at all. And they were able to attempt 6,781 outreach efforts, resulting in almost a 50% contact rate, which is really pretty high. And we had 3,721 enrollments. Now, it's interesting because you're like, well, how is the registered number higher than the contacted? It's because that group of people actually also is our 24/7 inbound. So this is just the results. This is the results of all enrollment during that month, not just of the outreach So, but again, they can enroll. So these are actually, you can attribute this enrollment to this team. One last piece of information to share that makes the outreach campaign so powerful is that you can identify other opportunities. In the Blackboard campaign, we asked one simple question to everyone we spoke with, and that was, are you still interested in enrolling at the college you started the process with? 1,320 of those we spoke with said yes, but at the time we ran this data, 748 had still not enrolled. So that is a priority one campaign for our contact center now to reach out to that 748 to see if we can get them enrolled in late start classes. So next steps for the work that we're doing here, first is just to stress that it's a collaborative effort. It's complicated and we continue to improve in this space as we understand our data more. Our next steps are to analyze the fall 2019 results, identify opportunities for future campaigns, and most importantly, to collaborate across the district to come up with what are some clear, smart investment of our resources to positively impact spring 2019 enrollment, because it all comes down to helping these students get connected and get into the pipeline and be successful. And I think, do we have time to close or with this video? Yeah.
It's always been my dream to be a teacher.
An aircraft mechanic.
A doctor.
An actor.
An entrepreneur.
An accountant.
A college grad.
I found a place where I belong.
Where I can make my dreams a reality.
I can find all the classes I need at Williams
and Pecos campuses.
So I can work and go to school.
And now I'm making business happen. I'm making pre-med happen.
I'm making performing arts happen.
I'm making aviation happen.
I'm making my dream happen at Chandler Gilbert Community College.
We make it clear that we have campaigns for all the colleges. I want to thank Dr. Brock and Mr. Freed, not only for the great work and the collaboration, but I think it's impressive that we now have metrics that we can track and that we can actually measure exactly what is working, what is not working, so that we can adapt and use our resources more effectively. So I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
Bravo. Any comments or questions from board members? Mrs. Nguyen?
Are you finding that these efforts are also making it easier for people to enroll?
President Thor, Board Member Nguyen. I think that the efforts help nudge them along, and so the communication, the contact, the guidance makes it easier, but we definitely still have some improvements to make in that space, and I'm happy to say we have a lot of great leaders and staff members who are really helping move that forward at this time. So it is making it easier because we're helping guide them, but we still have a complicated process.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Narini?
I've got a few questions. So I see we're putting a lot of effort in getting to the new clicks and hits and all that sort of thing. But what are we doing with, we already have a huge database of students who started, left campus. What are we doing to re-engage them instead of going out and, these are important, getting new students are important, but what are we doing to re-engage some of the students who've been in our system, who we already have their name, address, email, and contact information?
President Thor, Board Member Narini, I think that most of what I would say that's almost going after the older leads, if you will. It's almost what Dr. Brock is doing with the Blackboard campaign, is going back and seeing who's not enrolled of those people. So we are filling that database, and we are definitely reaching out to those students. And also the colleges have their own campaigns that they're doing that are really going after that audience. Sure.
Just one other comment on that. We have not operated in an overly sophisticated way in terms of supporting enrollment management, so we don't disposition our leads, so to speak. So we have a lot of students in the system, you're correct, but some of them may already be completed at one of our colleges and have moved on, and we just haven't noted that that is the case, that that's what happened. And so we're starting to do a lot more in terms of dispositioning, trying to align them with one intended college. That doesn't mean they can't be at all colleges, but that at least lets us know where to place our resources, because we want to make sure that you're dedicating your resources to those you can most likely move through when you have limited resources.
And that's part of the point, that we already have these students, and we can gauge their ability to succeed at the school by just looking at their GPAs and their transcripts. So we know that these students can be successful, but they're no longer enrolled. So I think these would be some really prime leads to get them to get through the finish line. So these inquiries, when they come in, they eventually make their ways to the colleges. Is that correct?
The students always make their way to the colleges, but the inquiries, depending on where they arrive, sometimes if it's a new to college student, they wouldn't get to the college until they're signing up for orientation and advisement. It is possible for a student who is new to Maricopa or re-engaging to go all the way through without actually being on the college campus until the first day of classes. So we don't transfer necessarily the leads. We are all using the CRM though, and we collaborate with our college partners to figure out who should focus on what in that pool.
So each of the colleges, we have campaigns for all the colleges, correct?
Yes.
And then so do those colleges get the inquiries at some point so they can follow up and do their specific targeting for whatever they're offering?
So the first, the funnel looks like this. So someone sees an ad, they fill out a form, and they call. All of those go to our first tier, which is Blackboard right now. So that Blackboard agent is there 24/7, and then is like a first tier. They decide what to do with that lead or inquiry. So if it is someone actually interested in enrolling and not someone calling to say, hey, you should trim the bushes on the street so I can see, it would actually go to our contact center, and then the college if that's needed. So that's the funnel.
Okay, so the college does get the information so that they can follow up with those individuals. And one other question, I mean, what sort of, like, as you're developing the campaign, as you're developing this and you're developing the enrollment strategies, what sort of input were you getting from the high schools?
President Thor, Board Member Narini, we haven't really engaged a lot until now with our high school partners regarding what they want at a system level. A lot of that engagement occurs at our college campuses. Our college presidents and leadership teams spend a lot of time engaging and working with our high school partners. From a system level, we, at least with the contact center, we don't conduct a lot of outreach, or really any outreach, to high schools at this point. We do early college, we do dual and ACE and HOOP and those programs, but no direct outreach. I would ask marketing too.
Right, sure. And in marketing, we can't target someone in high school. So what we do is we do things like social media, and we just make sure that our message is hitting an audience, possibly 13 and up. But we can't directly contact someone in high school.
No, and what I was getting at is, as you develop the plan, I mean, who knows high school students better than high school people?
Right, sure.
And then again, and I can appreciate the knowledge level of principals and presidents and that sort of thing, but with all due respect, those of us who are on the ground know the students, and getting input from that level, the counselors, the teachers, and that sort of thing, to help develop the program, to help develop the outreach, I think it is crucial to get in, to get to the students.
And I am excited to share that we definitely recognize that, and we are planning the first annual convening with our high school partners that we'll be holding in October. And that will definitely bring together people at all levels in the high school so that we can hear more from them about how to help serve those students.
Yeah, because that's the point. It's just I've noticed from both this from up here and also from the counselor side, that we keep talking past each other. And so I think we need to start talking with each other a little bit more.
Agreed.
Thanks.
Ms. Maya, and then Mrs. Sullivan, and then Mr. Sark.
First of all, I think it's amazing what you guys are doing. I saw the campaign happening last year in my campus, and I noticed a lot of people interacting with it. I interact with a lot of the different majors and stuff like that on campus, and they were talking about it. They were speaking about it like, hey, look at this, Glendale's on the billboards, Glendale, there's posters and stuff like that. And I kept hearing it around. I have other friends in other campuses, And again, I kept hearing it all across the district. I'm quite involved with different people and throughout all the campuses, and I think it's amazing seeing people that I know on the screens and they're speaking about it, and I'm all for it. Also, last semester, and I'm part of the honors program at school, and I reached out to a lot of high schools around my district area, Glendale Community College, and I want to speak to them about how we can get community college, high school students, seniors, to know about Maricopa Community College. And I reached out to the counselors, presidents, whatever, principals and stuff like that, and I did not get a lot of response back, but from the people I did and students and parents that I spoke to let them know about what, JCC, the honors program, did for them, they were really amazed at all the stuff that they were not getting from counselors. Last year, I also did a panel for the counselings for the high school districts, and the counselors were very amazed at what Maricopa Community College are doing, and the students there's no like you said, Mr. Rooney, there's no communication in between what we're doing and the counselors, and I think we should be really addressing that.
Yes, thank you.
Mrs. Sullivan?
I have a question. Well, I'm exploring this question, and that is, certainly you start by talking about enrollment trends and the decline. How will you track what your success is through this program in targeting enrollments and hopefully increasing them to that overarching trend of enrollment metrics for this district? Is that?
Well, I think what we'll do, President Thor, Board Member Sullivan, is look at the lift that we have and see if we're actually doing a reverse of the trend. I mean, I think that's what we have to. It's our only metric that we can do is we can look at that national metric and see if it's still leveling off or going down and our enrollment's going up or flattening, that we are doing something, and not just us two, but everyone in that enrollment journey in all the colleges has to be, it's not just one piece of the puzzle, right? It all has to fit in order for it to work. So I think the lift overall is the only thing that we can really look at, enrollment lift, knowing that there are so many pieces involved that actually get us there. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. It's just, if we're tracking so many metrics here, it'd be powerful to understand the impact of this practice and this process into the overall trending. And certainly then, as you enhance the program with the comments made by Dr. Marini and our new student over there, board member, that as you make those corrections, then you see different numbers, and so then you can drive that direct correlate, because if that's a reasonable practice, then that's worth our even greater investment, right? So that's why I was curious if there's a way to do that.
Yeah, and I think we do that at a lower level, or like when we're in the weeds, but we report out on the high metrics. But we definitely look at what's working and what isn't, and we definitely increase what is working. So we'll know what's working to get us there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Sarr?
To digress a little bit, to my knowledge, SIS made it through another semester study. Is there a point in the process where you can identify geographical information on each of these, or this group, in what part of Maricopa they're coming from and so forth? And what maybe demographic is doing better than another geographic? I'll stop and you can answer the question.
Yes, President Thor, Board Member Sarr, yeah, we definitely use that metric as well. We work with Matt Ashcraft's team, and we have actually a dashboard that shows us the enrollment per zip code in every zip code in the valley. So we know what's working where, and we also, when in our marketing, we target by geographic area as well, and we do that by zip code. So we have all those metrics.
Excellent.
For sure.
Any other questions or comments? Good job, congratulations. We're now at citizens interim. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the governing board about items that are not on the agenda for discussion today. In compliance with the open meeting law, the governing board will neither discuss nor take action on issues raised during this portion of the agenda. Each speaker is asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. We have one request to speak. Lawan Pleasant.
Well, good evening, Dr. Thor, board members, and of course, Chancellor Maricopa Harper and guests. My name is LaJuan Pleasant, and I just have one question to ask the board. What body or entity, whether internal or external, provides oversight to the District Office of Human Resources and the Office of Equal Employment? I know this is not a question that can be answered in this forum, but this is just a question that I can't find the answer to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll follow up and provide you with that answer. We're now at the consideration of the consent agenda. All items with an asterisk are consent matters unless they are removed from the consent agenda at this time. Do any board members or the Chancellor wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. I'm going to have to learn to practice this. Advisory vote. Board vote. Aye. The motion passes 7-0. We're now at the non-consent agenda, 12.1. Approve construction contract award for Makerspace remodel Gateway Community College Stauffer Annex. May I have a motion?
Yes, Dr. Thor, I move approval of the agenda item as presented.
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Mrs. McGrath?
Thank you. I note that this is for the awarding of the contract, and that if this contract isn't awarded, it has been pointed out to me that it would then go to the next bidder, which would make it more costly. I'm not in favor of that. I'm planning to vote no on this because I think that this is a terrible waste of public funds. This building is down at 5th Avenue and Van Buren in downtown Phoenix. It has absolutely no parking. I cannot imagine any student taking the time and effort to get down there. I'm assuming the closest campuses are Phoenix College and Gateway, and they're going to have to take public transportation in order to get down there, or else park in one of the very expensive parking lots around. I just feel that no matter how nice they make this space, that it's not going to be utilized, and that we're going to have people working there, and all this expensive equipment there, and all this very expensive construction, and nothing's going to happen. And I just think that there's a much better use of the public funds. So I plan to vote nay.
Any other comments or questions? Dr. Narini?
Thank you, Dr. Thor. I'd like to comment that I know this area. This area is the area I grew up. This kind of thing is needed. This is such a forward-thinking plan and proposal to do exactly what we're tasked to do, to educate the community and to provide resources, develop skills, workforce, to have value added to the education that our students are receiving. there's no better location than where it is. It's central. That's the whole point. It's central. You have Grand Avenue that goes up to Wickenburg. You've got the light rail. You've got the bus stations, the bus terminal. And to think that there is parking. And to think that it sounds like Yogi Berra. Nobody's going to go there anymore. It's too crowded. We're objecting to having success. So I plan to vote yes, because it's an investment in the community, it's an investment in the district, and it's an investment in our students and our businesses in Phoenix.
Advisory vote? Board vote?
Yes.
Yes.
The motion passes, I believe, 6-1 with Mrs. McGrath voting no. We're now at information items and monitoring reports. 13.1, review employments. Any comments or questions? Business services, review bond report as of June 30th, 2019. Comments or questions? 14.2, review budget analysis report for Fund 1 for the 12 months ending June 30th, 2019. Comments or questions? 14.3, review budget analysis report Fund 1, general unrestricted funds fund for the 1 month ending July 31st, 2019. We're now at governing board reports. Mr. Hendricks, do you have anything to report?
No report.
Dr. Narini?
I'd like to report that I'm really appreciative of the work that's being done for dual enrollment and trying to streamline that process and move forward with that, because I know from my students what a huge impact that has on their ability to go to college, to complete college, and to pursue their dreams.
Thank you. Mrs. Sullivan?
Want to wish everyone a great future year in the Community College District. I know you're all working extremely hard, both on behalf of the students and supporting each other. I hope you had a great summer. I had the opportunity to explore a few new programs here in the district, and I'm still catching up, but every time I do, I'm overly impressed with all the work that each of you are doing on a daily basis on behalf of the communities that we serve. So may it be a good year for all of you, and I look forward to more opportunities to work with you this year.
Thank you, Mrs. Nguyen.
No report.
Mrs. McGrath?
Thank you, Dr. Thor. I would like to commend Dr. Olson, a South Mountain Community College president. She does excellent hiring, and also I asked her earlier this evening how her enrollment is, and she said that it is up. So she's doing a wonderful job, and congratulations, Dr. Olson.
Thank you, Mrs. McGrath.
Mr. Sarr?
I've forgotten everything I did over the last couple of months. But we do have a board function coming up here in a week or so. It's a meeting of all the governing board members across the state. There's 52 total in 10 districts. Maricopa is just one of those 10. And it's the first time that we've really had this kind of retreat, so I'm looking forward to a number of us being there and really working together, both as an urban district like we are and with 8 of the rural districts that have totally different ways of doing things and needs of their communities that we all serve. So looking forward to a good discussion and hopefully come back with some ideas that we can all use.
Ms. Maya?
Thank you. I'm very excited to be the first student serving on the board, and also I'm very excited to visiting the colleges and interacting with the students. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I have no report. Our next regular board meeting is September the 24th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. We are adjourned.